I do a lot of construction work and seal a lot of things from time to time. I heard about Flex Seal and wanted to find out if it actually did what it claimed, so I ordered a can. In order to test it, I decided to get a 5-gallon drywall bucket, and I'm going to fill the bottom of this thing with screws. I've got about 10 drywall screws. On top of that, the commercial talked about fixing a pot with a crack. This thing has a pretty good sized crack in it. So, I'm going to see if it'll take care of that too. Let's get started. That's about 10 drywall screws. I didn't count them to be exact, but you can see they're in there. I'm going to go ahead and take them back out and we'll take a look at the holes. That's quite a few holes. And don't forget, we've got the big old crack too. So let's see what this does when I pour some water into it. I'm going to move my drill in the Flex Seal. I'd say we've got a pretty leaky bucket here. I'm going to go ahead and get it dried out, and then we'll try putting some Flex Seal on. I've got my can of Flex Seal here. I've read the directions, and it says you got to shake it well for about a minute, which I've already done, and then to spray 12 to 14 inches back from whatever you're spraying. So I'm going to go ahead and spray the inside first, and it also says to apply in thin layers. I've seen a few videos online about people claiming it didn't work so well, but they're sitting there trying to spray, gobs and gobs of the stuff on. So I'm just going to put a thin layer on and probably do another thin layer after a little while once it's dried over a little bit. So let's see how it goes. Alright, I'm going to let it dry and put on another coat. It starts to get kind of hazy, not nearly as glossy as when you first spray it on, so I'm going to go ahead and spray a second coat on here. Making sure I shake it really well. I've already been shaking it too. Looks pretty good. Let's clean the tip out again. It starts to blow clear as soon as it's clean, so it doesn't take long, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and close it off. I'm going to let this dry for probably about 24 hours, and we'll come back and see how it does with water back in the bucket. Alright, it's been a couple days. Had plenty of time for the Flex Seal to dry, and as you'll remember, I put 2 coats on. The first coat didn't quite fill all the holes. They're probably close to 1/8 of an inch each, so basically it built up a little bit of Flex Seal on the inside of the hole each time. So I'll let you take a look here. You can see where the holes were. They're still visible, but they're full of Flex Seal at this point. So let you look at the inside, got the same thing going on there, as well as the crack on the back side. Got it sealed there and here, so it seems to be pretty sturdy. Let's go ahead and pour some water in and see what happens. So far so good. I'd say we're pretty dry. Crack is dry, bottom's dry. We're in pretty good shape. So looks like it does what it says it's supposed to do. I guess the main things I can say, follow the directions, make sure, depending on the size of whatever you're trying to seal, you may have to do 2, maybe even 3 coats if it's, a bigger hole you're trying to fill. Let it dry in between coats, and it worked pretty well for me, so I'm sure it'll do the same for you. Thanks for watching.